I actually don't want you to become motivated. And I know that may sound strange coming from a life coach like me, but hear me out. Because I think one of the biggest myths we've been sold about motivation is that it's what changes our lives. That if we could just feel more motivated, we would exercise consistently, eat healthier, stick to our goals. But after years of trying to build healthier habits for myself and now helping others do the same through my health coaching, I've come to believe something completely different. The healthiest people I know don't rely on motivation. And once I understood that, everything about the way I approached my health started to change. Welcome back to Set Sessions. I'm Setareh. I'm a certified health and wellness coach and founder of Set Health Coaching. This is a place where we talk about why knowing what to do for your health is not the hard part. Following through is. And today I want to talk about one of the biggest myths I see when it comes to behavior change. The idea that motivation comes first. We all chase motivation. I think we've all done this. We've told ourselves, I'll start Monday. I'll start next month. I'll start when life calms down. I'll start when I feel more motivated. But because we believe motivation creates action, but here's what I've learned. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go. Some mornings you wake up excited, some mornings you don't. Some weeks you feel unstoppable, other weeks you feel exhausted and you're just trying to get through the day. If your healthy habits depend on feeling motivated, they're probably going to disappear whenever life gets hard. And life always gets hard sometimes. That's why, as a health coach, I don't spend my time trying to help people become motivated. I used to think I just needed more motivation. I'd watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, buy new workout clothes, tell myself, this time it's going to be different. And for a few days, it usually was. I felt excited. I was more consistent. But eventually, life happened. Work got busy. I got tired. And guess what? I simply lost the motivation. I didn't feel like doing it anymore. And I thought something was wrong with me. I thought it must be that I'm not motivated enough. And looking back, I wasn't lacking motivation. I was relying on motivation to do a job it was never meant to do. And one of the biggest shifts I've ever made was realizing motivation isn't what creates action. Very often, it's the action that creates the motivation. Think about brushing your teeth as an example. You probably don't wake up every morning feeling motivated to brush your teeth. I mean, maybe you are, but typically you just do it. Not because you're motivated, but because it's become a part of who you are. The same thing can happen with healthy habits. Have you ever not wanted to go for a walk, but once you got outside, you were glad you did? Or maybe you didn't feel like going to a workout class, but halfway through the class, you felt energized. How many times have you not wanted to start something only to realize starting was actually the hardest part? I'll use bar as an example because it's a workout that I genuinely love to do, and I've been doing it for years. And I'm also a bar instructor. So I use it a lot as an example in my videos. But people sometimes ask me, are you always motivated to work out or to teach bar? And honestly, no. There are days I'd rather stay home, days I'm tired, days when I really don't feel like working out. And I think people assume that because I'm a health coach, because I'm a bar instructor, I'm always motivated, but I'm not. The difference isn't that I have more motivation. The difference is that I've built routines that make showing up easier. I don't wait until I feel motivated. I just show up. And most of the time, the motivation comes after I've already started, not before. Sometimes I'm tired to teach a bar class, but once I'm there and I'm interacting with the clients and I start teaching my class, I find the energy, I find the motivation. I think we confuse motivation with commitment, and motivation says, I'll do it because I feel like it. But commitment says, I'll do it because it matters to me. And those are two completely different things. One depends on emotion, the other depends on values. And values last a lot longer than motivation. So the goal isn't to become someone who's always motivated, because that's just not realistic and it's exhausting and you'll burn out. It's to become someone who keeps showing up, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. And here's something that might surprise you. I actually don't want you to become more motivated. I want you to rely on motivation less, because the healthiest people I know don't wake up every day overflowing with motivation. They've simply built lives where healthy choices fit naturally. They enjoy the movement they've chosen. They've created routines. They reduce the number of decisions that they have to make on a regular basis. They've made it easier to succeed. And they don't have to convince themselves every single day. So, what do you do when you don't feel motivated? Just start smaller. Instead of saying, I'm going to work out for an hour, ask yourself, can I walk for 10 minutes? Instead of, I'm going to completely change my diet overnight, ask, what's one healthy choice I can make today? Instead of waiting for motivation, create momentum. Because once we get moving, our feelings often catch up to our actions. Whenever I don't feel like doing something, I don't ask myself, am I motivated? I usually just ask myself, what's one small step I can take right now? And sometimes that's enough. Sometimes I end up doing more. Sometimes I don't. But either way, I kept the habit alive and going. And I think that's far more important than having a perfect day. I think we've been sold this idea that successful people are simply just more motivated. And I don't believe that anymore. I think successful people have learned how to keep showing up. And even after the excitement wears off, because eventually it does, and that's okay. Healthy living shouldn't feel like another full time job. The goal isn't to make healthy choices harder, it's to make them easier to repeat, because that's what lasts. So, if there's one thing I hope you can take away from our conversation today, it's this: stop feeling like you're waiting to find this motivation, because motivation will come, but it will also go. But the small choices you make, even on the days you don't feel like making them, those are the choices that shape your life. Not because they're perfect, but because they're consistent. Your future isn't built on the days you feel inspired. It's built on the ordinary days when you just choose to show up anyway. Because in the end, healthy people aren't healthier because they are motivated. They're healthier because they've built lives that don't depend on motivation. If this conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one thing you've been waiting to feel motivated about? And if you enjoy honest conversations about health, mindset, and behavior change, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel, Set Sessions. And if you're just feeling stuck and you know what to do for your health, but you're unable to actually do it and follow through, that's exactly what health coaching is designed to do. And consider booking a complimentary clarity call with me via my website, sethealthcoaching.com. And we can just have a conversation about what you want to focus on, what you're struggling with, and how I can possibly help. In the meantime, stay well and take care of yourself. See you at the next set session.